Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Kevin and this is the Red Pilling channel. So I just want to discuss a little about Marjorie Taylor Greene. For those who may not know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a congressman, Republican congressman that represents the state of Georgia. And she definitely has she's definitely quite interesting from someone that was not liked for a long period of time in certain parts of Republicans. There's a lot of people. She definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Even some on the MAGA wing, at least on the online circle, people were not happy with her. People thought she was kind of becoming a RINO in the Freedom Caucus with Kevin, who was the last Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, excuse me. But recently she's turned like a 180. So it's kind of interesting what her messaging as of late. And her biggest ones have been more recently on healthcare and specifically on immigration. She's saying she kind of criticized the Trump administration of just saying how we need to do more we need to do more than just deport people, that we need to actually do something about labor. And well, that's one of those things she never, I do like her, and I think she's winning me over on some issues. I guess I like her because I consider her a true populist. And as I mentioned in one of my last videos about populism, I think populism is appealing to the ordinary man, and it's kind of representing the common man. And I think she's a populist because she is that person. She's a construction owner, and she definitely knows what it's like, being just an average American. So to me, I see her as someone who's very sincere, and I honestly think she could be a great VP possibility, if depending on how things go. She hasn't been too happy with Trump on some things, but I'm just going to explain some things specifically. She's been going on to The View, which I don't know why people are freaking out about that. I mean, Trump goes to the as you could say, the den of the left, and he goes to them, and we kind of find it funny the way he does when he went on ABC, and a bunch of them. So and I don't know, and let's be quite frank, I think her going on The View is a good idea because liberals don't allow that very often. So the fact that they allowed her to go on there and then tell people her views actually is smart, I think, because I think she played them like a fiddle, in my opinion, because I mean, she's kind of showing people that there are Republicans who actually do care about the American people and that do want to actually do solutions. I know the shutdown really has been because the Dems want to fund illegals, fund healthcare for illegals, and that's a big no for me. Hell no on that. But recently she had a post that I find interesting, and this was from October last month, and she explains why she voted the way she did in regards to voting for Dem healthcare, because they're on the Affordable Care Act. So she says, I was not in Congress when all this Obamacare Affordable Care Act, she said, bullshit started. I got here in 2021. As a matter of fact, the Affordable Care Act made health insurance unaffordable for my family after it was passed, with skyrocketing premiums higher than our house payment. Yeah, I mean, it was so high that people just rather get fined. That was at the time when you had to have when it was mandated that you have it. So that's, yeah, it was the biggest lie that we were ever told, and it just yeah. Um, and it's affecting our healthcare today. I mean, our healthcare is nowhere near what it was because of that. Let's just say, as nicely as possible, I'm not a fan, because I think it was a bill of wanting to remove the subsidies um, of Obamacare, and she was not a fan of doing that, because she said, I'm not a fan, but I'm going to go against everyone on this issue. When the tax credits expire this year, my own adults, children's insurance premiums for 26 are going to double, along with all wonderful families, hardworking people in my district. No, I'm not towing the party line or playing loyalty games. I'm a Republican and won't vote for illegals to have any taxpayer-funded healthcare or benefits. She calls herself America Only. She's kind of starting her movement on that. In other words, she's saying, with all the craziness, being $37 trillion in debt, acknowledging the housing crisis among young people, she's totally against sending foreign aid to any country right now. And you know, I like how she explained it in regards to, like, Israel, for example. I know she's kind of caused controversy on Israel too, but she said that Israel can afford things like free education and universal health care. By the way, I'm not advocating for a universal system here, but I'm just saying they can afford that. They're actually pretty good financially in Israel. Here, we're $37 trillion in debt, but we're sending money to all these other countries, like Ukraine and stuff. So, I mean, it's... So yeah, in other words, she's basically saying, until we can take care of the stuff here, I'm America Only. She's America Only. And some say, well, that's stupid because we're not isolationists. Well, no, it's not a matter of being isolated from the world, but it's making sure we're going to take care of our people first. And that means no helping other countries until our people are taken care of. Now, I mean, I like her spirit. I mean, I think it's because a lot of people are co-opting what America First actually means, what Trump's message means, and that's the problem. So she continues, I'm carving my own lane. She says, I'm absolutely disgusted that health insurance premiums will double if the tax credits expire. So it sounds to me that if the Obamacare subsidies expire, the premiums will double for families. And I also think insurance and all insurance is a scam, just to be clear. Not a single Republican leadership talked to us about this or has given us a plan to help Americans deal with their health insurance premiums doubling. That's exactly the big problem. They always talk about how bad Obamacare is, but they won't actually come up with their own plans because big government, small government. And, well, people, I guess, still want the Affordable Care Act because they see it as it's something. And I guess there's people who benefit from it. I mean, so I'm just reading what she's putting out here. Obviously, she says our country sent $30 billion to Israel in 2024 alone, killing countless innocent children. Okay, well, she thinks Israel's committing genocide. That's a big divide right now on if what we're being told about what's happening in Israel and Gaza, if we're being told the truth or not. But anyway, she doesn't want to send money to Israel. So she said she voted no. America has funded Ukrainian pensions, and Ukrainian businesses during this entire stupid war that Americans should have nothing to do with. So again, I like her messaging on the anti-war message. That's immigration and war and stay out of wars are my biggest issues. I mean, it's, as a male, I don't want to go die. I don't want to go die on the behalf of another country because of our foreign leaders' special interests. I don't want to do that. And things that have killed this country is mass migration and unrestricted free trade, shelling out our jobs and importing the third world to replace Americans. That has destroyed our country. And also using AI to replace people as a whole. So those are big issues for me. So she's against, she's against more foreign aid to countries. She says all our country does is fund foreign countries and foreign wars and never does anything to help the American people. Well, she says she's America only, but I have to say there's a lot of people in Washington that are America. They're not America last. They're America never, because when do they ever do anything good for America? Like, can you really think of anything they've done for America? I'm not talking about Trump per se. I'm talking about just in general. Because Trump is he's pretty much a sitting duck right now, in my opinion. I mean, he signed that one bill, the big beautiful bill that has divide in it as well. If it was great, it definitely wasn't perfect by any means, but it was something. And yeah, so, but he's kind of a sitting duck right now. That's probably why I think a lot of his focus is on foreign policy. That's why the messaging's on there, because it's really been the only thing that he can do, that he has the power to do, because no one in Washington, the RINOs are trying to subvert his agenda, and Democrats, well, they won't do that. They will not compromise on anything for the American people. So she says, so as Marjorie continues, she says no funding for illegals and any benefit for them, but we have to do something about absolute insane cost of health of insurance for Americans. So she says, here's some facts she posted. The most significant potential premium increase is expected in 2026, stemming from the scheduled expiration of enhanced premium tax credits. Potential cost if the enhanced subsidies expire. The average annual premium for the subsidies could rise by 114% from $188 in 2025 to around $1,900 in 2026. I mean, that's a huge jump for sure, and that would devastate a lot of people. Impact on affordability. This would be more than double the out-of-pocket premium payments for millions of Americans who receive financial assistance. Analysis. They did a study on this. Analysis found that a 60-year-old couple making $85,000 a year could see their yearly payments rise by over $22,600. So she goes on to say. So anyway, I think that's basically it. Oh yeah, she says potential enrollment change policy predicts that without these subsidies, millions of people could drop their coverage, with younger and healthier individuals being most likely to become. So I don't know. I have someone that responded here. That it was a comment to her saying that she said, "Thank you, Marjorie, for someone who really wasn't allowed to buy insurance until Affordable Care Act passed, who has a disease I was born with. I appreciate you for standing up." So, okay. So here's the thing: Obamacare was such a disaster that it's pushing people into wanting to go for Medicare for all. It's such a disaster, and I believe that was the plan. It was the plan to get people to beg the government to take over the whole healthcare system. So nothing that they've done is an accident. It's all staged. So anyway, that's a little bit from Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she obviously ticked a lot of people off. Like I said earlier in the video, I mentioned that she also made some statements about immigration. She hasn't been the biggest fan of the whole mass deportation. To be fair, I think it's been the way it's been handled. It's because she also feels there's a label shortage, which, see, that's the problem. I mean, if you're America only, you can't be importing the third world. You can't be doing that. So I don't know. I mean, so yeah, she said some interesting stuff, and a lot of Republicans are unhappy with her, calling her a rhino. Even some really MAGA people are calling her a rhino, and it's kind of interesting. The one who actually seems to be America first is the one actually being attacked for wanting to serve Americans. The one Republican that seems to want to actually do something for American, that is trying to message the American people that she's being called a rhino, which I think is kind of ripe. So as for Obamacare, no, I'm not exactly happy with her, but I feel like that's what populism is as well, is when you're representing your district, you're representing your people, sometimes you have to compromise sometimes, and you have to pick the two evils. What's worse? Obamacare sucks, but so does people's subsidies. So are people's costs increasing by 114%. So I mean, that's and from what she stated here, it's about over $1,000 jump. Yeah, that's a huge problem. It goes from, it's around close to 888 to almost $2,000. I mean, that's a huge jump. So I feel like she had to do the populist decision, and that's to give Americans something to ease the costs. The problem is, though, is the subsidies is really what is the big cause of why it's still very high anyways. I mean, as it is, because these insurance companies and this corruption in the Obamacare industry is how they're just jacking up the prices. So especially usually when the government's involved, it always goes up. So I mean, so again, I'm not an expert on the healthcare issue. I'm not acting like I am, but I'm not even necessarily saying she made the right decision. But I'm just I mean, I am going by what she's stating here, and yeah, I mean, it does seem like a lot of people would hurt for doing that. And I guess, why is she going to vote no? Why would she vote to remove the subsidies when Republicans haven't given an actual plan themselves? And that's really what she wants. So she's voting to keep it until there's a plan, which I think is a great message on the American people, and it's very populist. So to ease the burden on people. So it's not the best, but it's the best we have right now, it seems. And I don't know. Like I said, Obamacare is corrupt. It jacked everything up, and it's only enriched the insurance companies, and really, I mean, it's a scam. I mean, she said it herself, it's a scam, but you have to make the hard decision when people are panicking, and she did what she felt she had to do. So anyway, so is she a rhino? No, I don't. I think she's actually the America first, and that's why she's starting to grow on me. And because of her message like this, I actually think Vance should consider picking her as VP as a possibility, because with the crazy things going right now, we need a Republican ticket that actually knows how to run on issues that matter to people. So, and Republicans as a whole, they don't seem to know how to win, and I don't know if they really want to win, especially when a lot of the party's still controlled by the old guards that no one likes. So I don't know. So that's all I have to say here. So that's all I have for now. If you like this video, please let me know what you all think on Marjorie Taylor Greene's decision on this. And yeah, please hit the bell for notifications, and again, subscribe to my channel if you like the channel first, then hit the bell for notifications. The Red Pilling channel out.